Welcome back. This is Kimoy from keepingupwithkimoy.com, and I'm excited because you have made it to video number 3 of the 4-part series in my course, How to Land a Writing Job in Tech. So by now you should have gotten an idea of what it's like to have recruiters contacting you with opportunities in your emails, in your phone, just basically shoving opportunities in your face. So it is possible. And in video number 2, I shared with you a really cool worksheet to help you identify some of the writing positions that are available today and how you can choose one or two or three that are of interest to you and basically use the information that you find there to help you land the job that you want. So let's get into what you need to have in your job search toolkit. I encourage you to pull out your resume and your LinkedIn profile so that you can make some changes along the way. All right, so the first 3 things that you need in your toolkit, you probably already know, but there's also one thing that I want you to be prepared for when you are applying for jobs in the writing industry. I should not say applying, but basically when you are searching for and using this strategy essentially to land a writing job in tech, okay? So of course, the most popular one is a resume. You need a resume. And if you have been freelancing for a while, maybe you have not been using a resume, but in tech, you definitely need to have one. You also need to have a LinkedIn profile. I know a lot of people tend to shy away from it, but it's actually a very powerful platform to help you show up as a tech writer. I mean, the search capabilities with LinkedIn is really, really great. So I want you to take advantage of this free platform to help you land a tech writing job. You also need a portfolio. If you don't have a portfolio right now, then that is something you definitely need to work on. And in my upcoming course, I will actually help you to create a couple of pieces that are really essential for a writing job in tech. So I know a lot of people tend to have blog posts that they've written about traveling or other topics, but there are some specific deliverables that you should definitely have if you're looking for a writing job in tech. Okay. The last thing that a lot of people do not know or they get surprised by is that engineers and developers are not the only ones that have to take a test. So do you as a writer in tech. So essentially what you have to have in your toolkit is proof of skills. What can you bring to the table? And the way that you show that is through your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your own portfolio, and having the skills to take a test when a recruiter or hiring manager request that from you. So this is what you need to be prepared for a writing job, particularly in the tech industry. It might not be applicable to other industries, but these are the 4 things that you need. So let's take a look at what you should have in your resume. All right. So the first thing you need to do is take away all the stuff that should not be in your resume. Now, I edit resumes for my clients or I write them from scratch. And this is one of the hardest things for most of my clients to accept is that all of your work experience that you've had does not need to be on your resume. You only need to keep the relevant skills and experiences to the job that you want. Only those that are relevant to the job that you want should be on your resume. Everything else is really clutter and taking up space. And a lot of people have a hard time figuring out what to take away and what to keep. So this is where I really hit the delete button and use my own editing skills to help people have a very tailor-made resume. As you look over your resume, I want you to see if there are any ways that you can include relevant job titles. As we discussed in video number 2, our job titles evolve over time, even though the positions may be the same, even though the skills may overlap, even though we may wear multiple hats. So if you know, based on the research that you have done, that you have all the skills and experience of a technical writer, but your title was project manager, then you can actually put technical writer, project manager / technical writer on your resume because you actually did the work and you have the experience, even though it wasn't your official title. So don't forget to include relevant job titles in your resume. The next thing is to have links to your email and your LinkedIn profiles or your portfolio or website on your resume. So the thing is, you want to make sure that when someone is looking at your resume on a computer, that with just one click, they can send you an email. With just one click, they can check you out on LinkedIn or check out your portfolio. So you want to make it easy for them to see what it is that you bring to the table and easy to connect with you. Okay? And again, I hope that you completed the worksheet in video 2. So in the third column where I asked you to write down the core skills that you already have, these are the skills that you need to actually put on your resume. They need to be in your resume. So what tends to happen with a lot of my clients is when they tell me the job that they want to have and I go over the description, they're like, and I ask them, have you done XYZ? They're like, yeah, I did that. I actually did that. So I'm like, why don't you have it on your resume? It's pretty obvious. So make sure the skills that you found in your research from video number 2, if you actually have that experience and you have those skills, make sure you put them in your resume. And the last tweak that I would love for you to make to your resume is to include some keywords that you have identified. Maybe you see that in the 5 positions that we talked about in video number 2, maybe there are some keywords that you're like, yeah, I know this. You see it over and over. So let's say, for example, just as an example, let's say Google Docs is something that is common among all positions. So if you see Google Docs in each of the positions and you know that you are like a super user of Google Docs, you want to make sure that Google Docs is in your resume. So that's just an example, but you will see a pattern over the skills and job descriptions as you do your research in video 2. So if you see those keywords, then you make sure to include them in your resume. So let's take a look at your resume. Let's take a look at your LinkedIn profile now to see what you should have in there. The first one is, what are your goals as a writer in tech? Like, what do you hope to accomplish? How do you plan to use your skills to help a company achieve a particular goal? What is it that you bring to the table? Like, that should be in your summary. I have had clients in the past that would have like explanations of their names and the history of their name, just some really wacky stuff. So make sure you include what it is that you want to bring to the table, a summary of your experiences or your goals. If you are available right now on the market, right, then you definitely want to include that on your LinkedIn profile as well. In LinkedIn, there are opportunities for you to share what you think about your career path. So this is what people in the industry call thought leadership. Like, how do you demonstrate your knowledge about a particular path, a particular career, a particular subject matter? If you have skills and experience, you want to talk about them. You want to share articles and provide opinions about them. So there are ways that you can do that in LinkedIn. In my upcoming course, I will go through step by step on how you can do that and um, what are some articles and thought pieces that you can actually incorporate in your LinkedIn profile to help you stand out a little bit more. This one is a really, really fun tip that I use myself and others have used as well to stand out even more amongst other writers. So if you have a video or image regarding your profession, then that will really, really capture the attention of recruiters. Like I have gotten compliments on my website and on my profiles because I have interesting visuals that just recruiters tend to love. So I can show you how you can create those videos, but you are probably very social media savvy already. You've probably created videos on YouTube or images on Instagram and Pinterest. So you want to use the same skills that work on those platforms and apply it to your LinkedIn profile as well. And the last tip that I want to share with you is to include testimonials, awards, or certificates. So if maybe your manager in the past said something really cool to you, then there's a really cool way that you can include that on your profile outside of the recommendations that the recommendations feature that's available right now on LinkedIn. So you can leverage those, but you can there are different ways that you can showcase testimonials, awards, certificates, and that sort of thing. So I will show you how to do all of that in my course, but here I just wanted to share with you some really cool tips that you can implement on your own. So I will see you in video number 4 and give you some tips on how you can really connect with recruiters so that you can have their same results like I did and I do, as you saw in video number 1. Okay, so I will see you in the next video.